Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's Patty Stash coming at you. So, I just made a post about BNB and the BNB token. There's a reason that I'm doing that. It's basically because myself, and I'm sure a lot of others, are still sitting here twiddling our thumbs as the market continues to kind of do a whole lot of nothing. Unless you are a BNB holder or you owned tokens on BNB that recently pumped because of the BNB token itself pumping. The question I ask myself, or the question others should be asking, is why hasn't Ethereum pumped? Why haven't Ethereum-based tokens pumped? How come Solana tokens haven't really been pumping? BNB tokens have. And the reason for that, for one thing that I wanted to point out, is that BNB tokens are owned by CZ, and they have a large presence in Asia, whereas that's not the case with Ethereum. Ethereum is a much larger token, a much larger distribution of holders. Ethereum is held by institutions. Ethereum is held by the United States government now. Like, everybody is accumulating Ethereum. The outlook or the stigma on Ethereum is very different from BNB. There's a lot of people that only trade BNB tokens as like pump and dumps, which I think we've been witnessing. And now that kind of BNB is down, everything on BNB has imploded to some extent. And again, why has it imploded so much? Well, if you pay attention to the numbers, you would notice that the distribution of BNB is not the same as Ethereum. It's held as in a majority by CZ, and it's held by these other groups. So the point I'm trying to make is, maybe 2 weeks ago, I made a post comparing BNB to Ethereum, saying that BNB has already begun to break its macro structure, as in the long-term resistance that it's taken years to get back over. Ethereum is about to do that, and when Ethereum does that, Ethereum breaks 5,000, it's going to break 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000, and I believe it's just going to keep going. But the difference between BNB and Ethereum is that BNB is held by a group of individuals that is a much smaller niche. It's a much smaller market cap. Ethereum, on the other hand, is held by everybody. Lots of people own Ethereum. So the point I'm trying to make is that when Ethereum breaks out, you're going to have a massive group of individuals from everywhere around the world working for their bags. And I'm talking about, fucking Donald Trump's kids and like people that people don't care about, but they still have a large presence. Institutions. What have we noticed over the last 2 years? Institutions have continued to accumulate while a lot of retail has been selling. I've always said time and time again, institutions are way smarter than retail holders. They have way more money. They have the ability to wait much longer. So retail, to many people, are in a sense impatient, which I always talk about as well. So retail's been selling. Institutions have continued to accumulate the supply, which basically means at some point there is going to be a tipping point, and when that happens, the supply runs out, and all the institutions that are sitting on the supply sit back and go, okay, this is what we waited for. And all the retail that was impatiently selling because other things were moving and Ethereum wasn't moving, they start to buy back, driving the price higher. So, think about what just happened with BNB and BNB tokens. Some of them were pumping 100x, 500x, like it was a pretty nice little pump. But Ethereum and Binance, BNB, do not hold the same weight. People hold Ethereum to a much higher regard than they do Ethereum. There's way more people, there's way more distribution in Ethereum. So, the point I'm trying to make is, yeah, BNB just saw a nice little pump. Is it done? I don't know. Could it go higher? Sure, probably, because if Ethereum goes higher and if Bitcoin goes higher, BNB will go higher too, which means BNB tokens will go higher too. But the difference is a lot of BNB tokens just kind of pumped, whereas Ethereum tokens still haven't pumped, and I know people are frustrated about it. It is what it is. This is how the market works. It's taken longer than people expected, but you always hear me say, the longer an asset consolidates under resistance, the bigger the eventual breakout. Ethereum's been consolidating for 4 years. It's important to look at the current price of Ethereum, which is about, what, $4,200, $4,300 right now? Ethereum's been at $4,200, $4,300 for 4 fucking years. Well, it was at, whatever it was, $4,400 back in 2020, 2021. So it's been 4 or 5 years and it still hasn't broken its macro structure. But it's going to, fuckers. Like, this is the difference between myself and so many other people. Like, if it's not happening immediately, people get their fucking panties in a bunch and they start bitching and moaning. If you understand why macro shit happens and you're willing to fucking wait and play the longer game, you could be buying tokens right now for fucking dirt cheap. And then when the market shifts, all of a sudden you look like a fucking genius because you're buying everything low while the impatient retards are chasing other shit that's probably topping out or getting close to the top. So, sit tight. Ethereum-based tokens haven't seen shit. It's boring as hell. Nothing matters until it does. Think about fucking Telcoin for 2.5 years doing absolutely nothing. If everybody was focused on what it was doing, the history of what it did, they would have never in a fucking million years believed what it was capable of doing when the market conditions were right. And that's why I keep saying, if you want to sit on a good token that's a mathematical anomaly, look at fucking Hold. Like, look at the fucking weekly chart since its inception. It's made higher highs and higher lows consistently, and it's because of fucking simple supply and demand. Organic fucking math. And it's like, the one discussion that anybody could have or say about the token is the fact that because there's a large supply of the tokens that were bought and burned, it actually changes the numbers, which is true. But it's like saying there's a fucking 6 written on the ground right in front of me, a big fucking 6. And I'm saying that's a fucking 6. And there's somebody right in front of me that's looking at it from the other angle and they're going, I don't see a fucking 6, I see a 9. And I'm like, you're a dumb motherfucker. It's a 6. Look, it's a fucking 6. And they go, come over here. Stand where I'm fucking standing. Look at it. It's a fucking 9. And I go, oh shit. It is a fucking 9. Who's right? Him or me? Nobody. It's how you look at it. It's perspective. So the point I'm trying to make is, yes, when you look at the distribution numbers of everybody holds, you might say, hey, the top holder's holding 1 or 0.5%. But then other people could say, well, it's actually higher because a part of the supply was bought and burned. So technically those numbers are a little bit different. But it doesn't fucking matter when you look at the chart, because you can see it trades organically. And you can see that because the numbers are what they are, because it's 100% retail held, it keeps making higher highs and higher lows. So that's why I'm going to fucking continue to sit on it. Because if I'm holding this shit for 15 years and this thing just keeps going and going and going, think of how many fucking zeros it's going to lose over that time. Am I going to be around that whole time? I don't know. Am I going to sell someone that goes higher? I don't know. Is it going to go down and I'm going to buy more? I don't know. This is the shit that, like, I don't fucking know, but I'll tell you one thing I do know. I've been in crypto since 2017, 8 years now. I'm still here. I'm still owning tokens. I'm still buying tokens. I'm still selling tokens. It's a fucking market. It's a market that is used to buy and sell assets for a profit or a loss. Now, whether you know what you're doing or you don't, it doesn't fucking matter to me. Some people know, some people don't. Some people trade, some people don't. Some people buy, some people hold. Like, it is what it is. There's always going to be people critiquing each other. There's always going to be individuals saying, this guy's fucking good, this guy's fucking bad. This guy is good, but this guy's bad to other people. Like, this is just fucking a market. And if you have an understanding on a macro level of how and why certain things work, you'll never not make money. It takes patience, it takes knowledge, it takes understanding. It's a fucking market. It's a vehicle for people to buy and sell assets for a profit or a loss. How they go about doing it, It makes no fucking difference to me, because for years I did it one way. I'm putting my faith in a company, I'm putting my faith in an individual, but I've started to learn that, man, it's hard for that to work, especially over the last few years when it's been slow and I've seen so many tokens disappear. So all I say to myself is, if there was an asset I could find that had good math, it's fucking hold. And this whole discussion wasn't even supposed to be about hold, but I kind of turned it into it. It was supposed to be more about, look at the price of Ethereum now versus where it was in 2020 or 2021. It's the same fucking price. So if the same fucking price in the last 4 or 5 years, there's not going to be a whole lot of action. It's not until Ethereum breaks out, breaks 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, and then all of a sudden, all the big money that owns it, they're starting to go, yo, Ethereum, Ethereum, Ethereum. And then all the people that sold it at 4,000 because they wanted to chase BNB, and then they realized BNB peaked and it's rolling over, they're going to go, fuck, now I got to buy back into Ethereum. And when they do, they're going to go, it's going to 20,000. That's just how people's minds work. It is what it is. I'm just going to continue to sit back, be patient, wait for things to develop. Oof, that guy just driving down the road and there's a fucking tire. This dude in a truck just hit it. Guy's like, bang. But anyway, my throat's dry. It's been 11 and a half minutes. Man, time flies. But yeah, it's kind of funny because I started off like I'm half asleep, and then I do what I always do, and I get myself fired up. So hopefully people are still listening to this, because if they are, I think that they'll have a little bit of a better understanding of my mindset. I do think that people have been following me for a while. They have a pretty good fucking understanding of how I think as it is. I try to be as transparent as possible. I try to explain why I think things happen. But the problem is, so many people are so fucking stupid. They're so fucking impatient. They're fucking stupid. They're fucking stupid. People don't know fucking shit. There's so many people that have been in the market for years that still don't know a fucking thing about it, because they don't know how to do research. They don't know why this leads to this and this leads to that. It's like they're just blindly going through fucking space, and all of a sudden, like, things pop out and they're like, oh, I want that, oh, I want that. And it's like, good, you'll never fucking learn. It's like, I don't know, I could just go on for forever about what leads to what, why it happens, how I discovered that this is going to play out like it does. Why have there been so many fucking people that will like trash me, and then all of a sudden the things that I talk about actually play out, and they'll still be trashing me because they're fucking bitter and stubborn little fucking pieces of shit, because they missed out, because they didn't have the patience. But then there's the people that fucking realize, and they're like, damn, yo, Patty was right. And people hate it. I love it. Just like Telcoin, man. That was so great. For so long, I was so bullish, and I'm like, so what? Maybe I got lucky. I don't know. But I'll tell you what, my fucking persistence about that token never wavered once. I became the biggest influencer. I hate that word. But I was the biggest influencer because of the conviction I had for the long period that I did. And when it did finally blow up, all of a sudden my holders just went, or not my holders, my followers exploded. And it's like, nobody gave a fuck except for the few people that wrote it down. And then I had people like threatening my life and shit. And I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing? And then all of a sudden, so many of those people sold. So many people that I know in real life that I actually helped buy those tokens. Like, I took time out of my life to help these pieces of shit. And I'm calling them pieces of shit because, like, there's not a single one of them that I helped that I still fucking talk to. Like, I cut these people out of my lives. And it's like, yeah, you can say it's harsh, whatever. Maybe, but, like, there's a reason I do things. And it's like, these are people that, like, I realize I helped them and they didn't fucking give a shit. Like, they were just, you know, people fucking use everybody all the time. So I just remember one guy specifically, this guy, Ray, he put like 10 grand into Telcoin when it was at like 0.00015, like the fucking bottom. And then all of a sudden I saw him for the first time in like 3 or 4 months, and I was like, dude, like, you're fucking rich. And I remember, I'll never forget the look he gave me. And he's just like, ugh. I'm like, what happened? He goes, I don't know, man. He's like, 2 weeks after you helped me buy the Telcoin, he goes, some other guy told me about some other token and I bought it. And I'm like, it. I was so fucking happy because that guy, turns out he's a piece of shit. Turns out he was a mechanic. He tried helping me with my car, and it turns out he fucking ripped me off because he's a piece of shit, and karma got back to him. Love it. Love it, baby. Anyway, I think I'm done talking. Be patient. Wait for Ethereum to start to move, because when Ethereum starts to move, Ethereum-based tokens start to move, and if you're owning them from this area at or near bottom, which I'm really saying is bottom, no matter how much they might be up from where they were a couple of weeks ago or a couple of months ago, doesn't fucking matter. Nothing matters until Ethereum breaks out. Everything on Ethereum starts to move. People around the world that all own Ethereum start going, Ethereum, 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 Ethereum. Watch. In the end, watch. Be patient. Watch. Watch. Remember this fucking shit that I keep fucking saying every fucking day for months. Yes, months. Because it takes time for shit to play out. Nobody knows exactly when it's going to play out. Be patient. Be patient, you fucks. Don't be fucking idiots and sell anything when Ethereum breaks 5,000 or 5,500, because you're going to be selling at the wrong fucking time, and you're going to want to fucking shoot yourself in the ball sack. Peace out.